and welcome back to 52 Hertz. So this time we were going to do storytime videos, but we decided that since we started on a Tuesday, we're just gonna like fill in the rest of this week with just whatever we want. I'm still doing a storytime video. I don't know what the rest of the people this week are doing, but on Sunday, Kiara will be starting our Valentine's week, and that's gonna be really cool and exciting. And yeah, so like I said, I am doing a story time, and boy do I have a story for you. I gotta get my notes because I tried to record this yesterday, and when I tell stories, I'm just like all over the place because I can't focus, and yeah. So I'm going to tell you the story of when I almost burned down my dad's house, and my grandparents' house, and my uncle's house all in one day. Alright, so when I was little, my parents got divorced and I lived with my mom, and then I would go to my dad's house every summer for a couple of weeks just for like summer break. He lives in like this really small town in the mountains, and his house is like quite a ways from town. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And he lives on my grandpa's property, which is just this big property. There's my grandpa's house, my dad's house, and my uncle's house, all in like a triangle. And every time I would go there, I would hang out with my cousins. They were like my best friends. We had so much fun together, but we also got into a lot of trouble. And one day we were at my dad's house. Nobody was home. I don't know, like out in that kind of neighborhood, like everyone kind of just like leaves their kids to do whatever they want. Like it's not in a town, so like they can't get kidnapped or lost or anything. Like the kids just kind of just walk around on the property and like do whatever they want. And so like my dad would go to work and leave us there, and so the only people that were really there to like kind of supervise us is my grandparents, because they're home all the time. So yeah, we didn't really have that much supervision. And my cousin Jeremy, when he was younger, he was such a huge show off. Like he was always constantly doing things and being like, hey look, I'm cool. So one day we were at my dad's and we were playing outside, and all of a sudden he was just like, guys look, I can light this grass on fire and put it out with my spit. And keep in mind, this is in the summer, so it's like really hot and dry there, and in between all three houses there's just this big field of dead grass that could literally go up in flames in a matter of seconds. And we decided to start playing with fire. Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. And so he did that. He lit a little piece of grass on fire and he spit on it to put it out, and we thought that was cool because we were weird kids. So he kept doing it, and every time he would do it, he would let the fire get a little bit bigger each time and he would spit it out. And eventually it got to a point where he could no longer put it out, and I started to panic a little bit in my mind. On the outside I was just standing there, but like in my brain I was going crazy. I was like, okay great, this has become a huge problem, like what the heck are we gonna do now? And so my first thought was that we needed to tell my grandparents, and so I yelled, we need to tell grandma, and I just took off running towards my grandma's house. And like the houses are not very far apart, but they're not like right next to each other. Like it probably took me about 2 minutes to run to my grandma's house. And so they followed me, we ran into the house, and we told her that there was a fire. And I don't exactly remember what happened next, but the next thing I remember is there was a police officer there, and he was asking us questions about the fire and stuff. And we didn't want to get in trouble for like starting a fire, so we came up with this story that a random car came and drove up to my dad's house, threw a cigarette out the window, and then drove away. Anyway, so my dad's house is quite a ways from town. There's no traffic driving by it. Like his house is at a dead end. There's like the main road, and then you turn off into a driveway which goes up the hill, leads up to like some other people's houses, and then it goes all the way up to the top, which is where my grandparents' house is, and then you go down to my dad's house, and that's the end of the road. Like there's nobody that's gonna just be driving by. The only way a car would be in that place is if they were specifically going to my dad's house. And so that was not a very good cover-up story, because like I said, a random car is not gonna be just like driving by my dad's house. Anyway, so like I said, a police officer was asking us questions, and we told him that story, and of course nobody believed us, but we were kids and that was the best that we could come up with. And yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened after that. I don't know how big the fire got or like how it got put out. I don't remember what our punishment was, or even if we got a punishment. But luckily both my dad and my uncle who lived there worked in the Forest Service, so their job was to put out fires. I'm not sure if they came and helped or like how the fire really got put out. Like I said, I don't remember much. This was a long time ago. I was probably like 10 years old when this happened. But the thing is, like, this whole thing, it could have easily been avoided because like my dad has a hose in his yard which we could have easily grabbed and sprayed the fire down, or we could have gone inside and grabbed a bucket of water because like the fire was not that big at the time and it could have easily been put out. But no, my first thought is to run off and leave this fire burning. Don't I just have the best ideas? So anyway, that is my story of how I almost burned down 3 houses, even though technically it wasn't really my fault because my cousin was the one who was lighting stuff on fire. But I mean, I sort of let him do it and I thought it was cool, and so it like encouraged him to keep doing it, and it was my idea to just run off and leave the fire burning. Anyway, so I hope you guys like that story. I will see you guys next week. I upload every Thursday. And yeah, stay rad, not sad. Bye.